I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which I am privileged to be recording this podcast today, the Camaragal of the Eora Nation, and I would like to recognise their elders past and present.
Good afternoon, and welcome back to another episode of our Great Minds series here at Ad Week APAC 2023. And I'm joined by the always fabulous Alex McLean, the General Manager of Marketing at BMW, one of the few people in this country that has a job that I would truly kill for. Alex, thank you so much for joining us on the series.
Happy to be here. Happy to talk cars.
We're having a bit of fun with this one. So I'm going to shoot 10 quick fire questions.
Yep.
And let's see where we go. We're going to chase some rabbits down Warrens.
Let's do it.
Biggest idea in advertising right now?
I'm imagining every person that sits in here has probably muttered something around AI. For me, it's not AI. It's the biggest idea is how you leverage this tool. Because a tool is just a tool until it's applied in the right way.
Yep.
And I've heard some fascinating analogies today and over the last few weeks. Some people talk about AI as a bicycle that can help you propel faster than if you were running. An amazing one I heard today was that AI is like your mother-in-law in that, you wouldn't leave the keys to your house with her, but, you kind of need to get along. I don't know where that was going, but I love my mother-in-law, but the idea is how you use this.
Yep.
Not just the tool itself, how you apply it.
So where do you sit on the fence in terms of AI and the creative ecology?
I think that it'll further propel it.
Awesome.
I think it's a tool. If I can jump ahead, I know you may ask me, what is the biggest nonsense or rather what do you not believe in? For me is that AI is going to take jobs. I don't believe in that. I believe that it's going to shape new jobs. I think that it's going to help propel some jobs.
Yep.
I don't think it takes everyone's jobs. So, I'm a big advocate for how we can actually empower us.
I couldn't agree more. I think, AI is not going to take your job. Someone who knows how to use AI is going to take your job.
Tool up. I mean, when the internet came around, did everyone panic? No, you can equip yourself, right? So,
all right, we move from the biggest idea to the boldest claim you've heard this week.
I don't know if it's a claim, more so that everyth's a game changer. There's a lot of game changers going on.
there are
probably
a lot of
it's
game
a claim
changers.
that's used too much. But look, I'm here tomorrow and pumped to see what comes out. I'm sure I'll pick up on threads and trends.
Yeah.
That's what I love about these conferences and Advertising Week is what are the threads that are weaving their way through the conversation. Maybe I can follow you up and share one on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, you've given your primary answer, so now you're going to have to, on the fly, think of a second one. Something we're all buying into that you think is absolute rubbish.
Again, I don't think his answers it perfectly, but there's so many buzzwords going around, so many acronyms. I'm a believer in things being beautifully basic, not needing to be complex. And I'll probably touch on this later. That reference beautifully basic, I think it's so pure. I think it's so powerful to be basic.
Yep.
So I think we can steer away and lean out, when I use a buzz term, away from so many acronyms and so many buzzwords which are making their way around both client side, agency side, when we play buzzword bingo. I think we need to, get back to an essence, the simplification of what is pure.
Maybe things aren't as complex and nuanced as we all think they are.
We don't need to make them.
What should marketers and advertisers be paying attention to right now?
We talk about the last couple of years and the acceleration in consumer behavior and, brought on change, or we see in automotive anyway, that it brought on change that was coming, but at a much quicker pace. That behavior is constantly evolving. And there is the first Tuesday of the month. I think they talk about interest rates today. And I think they've maintained, everyone's very conscious of their ability to spend, their access to funds, mix that with unemployment. I think we need to really monitor what that behavior or the change that's still occurring in that behavior. And a great approach that I heard recently was that we need to no longer think about how we can help someone convert. It's how we stop someone falling out of the journey. So it's just that mindset, and we need to be aware of this constant friction or the barriers we put in place in the journey.
We were talking in market a couple of months ago about just that exact thing. You've never had to work harder to retain your loyal customers, but by the same token, you've never had a better opportunity to reintroduce yourself or to introduce yourself to someone who might have been loyal to a different mark.
There's buyers out there, absolutely. Yeah. You just need to have craft and be smart and be planned.
In contrast, what shouldn't we be paying attention to right now?
In the automotive space, and I'm going to keep using that category, right? We talk about the last 2-3 years as this period where supply didn't meet demand. It was all about trying to find the car to meet the customer's expectations, people coming in desperate for cars. We were one of the industries that went through COVID with, high demand, right? Very different. that's gone.
Mm.
And there's lessons from that period in how we maintain excitement on products that are 4 or 5 months away. And we spoke about N3 Tourings. Some people are waiting up to 12 months for that car. We're still lessons in that period of maintaining excitement, but that period's gone.
Yeah.
So we need to be almost retraining ourselves. And we talk about this at both the marketing level and at the on-floor sales level.
Yep.
How do we operate pre this period of high demand? How were we crafting? How were we leveraging the stock that we had available if it didn't match the consumer? So I guess my answer to that question is we need to put aside now the last 2 years and reset again.
Back to basics.
Back to basics with some elements of the last year, but put it aside.
What excites you most about the year to come?
Experiential. I've loved today. It's great being in touch. And I know this isn't the first event I've been to, but events like this for an industry in the marketing advertising space, be it people waiting online for Taylor Swift tickets, trying to get on through. I wasn't one, but people are desperate for, connection, physical connection again. And what I'm really excited about is where brands and through working with our suppliers and our agencies, how do we do that in the modern landscape? How do we reconnect physically with our fans, advocates, and prospects and consumers? That's what excites me the most. For us at BMW, we have this vision of buying a BMW is more than just buying the metal. It's buying into community, it's buying into access, and it's buying into experiences. So that's what excites me over the next 12, 18 months.
Brilliant. What keeps you up at night?
I mentioned before, it's difficult times out there, and I think everyone's, battling in that context in different ways, but it's tough to find or recruit. There's not as many people applying, be that they are not wanting to leave the security of where they may have been for so many years. Don't get me wrong, I'm very happy with our retention, but what keeps me up is how I keep my team engaged, how I reconnect or reestablish the approach to contemporary work setting, even though we're a year and a half after the major lockdowns. I don't think everyone's got that right yet. And for us, that's what keeps me up is how do we establish a connection with our teams? How do we discuss two-way flexibility? Had a really good conversation with some colleagues today about that notion that even when mobile phones came out, the fact you could check your mobile and check your emails at 5 a.m. if you woke up early because you're being kept up at night. 9 to 5 disappeared 15 years ago. So a year and a half post-lockdown, what keeps me up is how we maintain connection and engagement for our teams, but also for our agencies.
What a great thing to keep you up at night. Kudos to you.
Yeah.
The state of advertising in 3 words.
It's getting clever.
All right.
It's getting smart, if I can use that as a reference to data.
Okay. Care to go deeper?
Yeah. I remember when I talk about data with people that are not necessarily, I talk about it as a plumbing. Some people it's not sexy, right? But it's pretty damn important. I won't follow that analogy, but, telling the stories of what data can tell is fascinating. Be it through what it can educate you on your own customer database, through to, examples of how they catch serial killers now with data. It is an incredibly complex space, and how in advertising, you can see this coming up front. And that's why I said before, the need to be beautifully basic, I find fascinating, because beautiful is still complex, but on the face level for consumers, it's basic. So for me, that sits on top of a lot of data. That's a long answer now, but yeah, it's getting smart.
You're speaking to someone that fundamentally believes in making the data dance. So
I love that. Make the data dance.
If there was a golden rule, what would it be?
Keep it simple. Simple sells. I believe Mark Ritzen's an advocate for
he certainly is.
Follow your brand assets. For me, I remember one of the first conversations I had with some of our retailers, and they said, simple sells. Don't make it complicated. You don't need to be overcomplicated. Being complicated doesn't mean that you're a better marketer. Making the journey cleaner, with less friction and simple, that for me and for my team is that golden rule. Keep it simple.
And last one from me, your advice for marketers or advertisers that are looking to find growth this year?
Connect and learn. I had a conversation with someone who pulled me up after my session before, asking me, how is it that marketers or marketing departments still seen as coloring in department? And I don't think they are, but I understand the analogy there that, previously they were seen as just a visualization tool. I said to her, you need to draw outside the lines, to use that analogy. You need to go and uncover things that you haven't learned about, be that in our field or happening out there in the public. It's just having that itch to scratch to uncover more. So my recommendation would be go and discover more. And if you like to read books, read books. If you like to, watch documentaries, if you like to listen to podcasts,
Mm.
do it, pick up on threads and follow those threads and see where they take you back at your own place.
Sage wisdom, thirst for learning.
Yeah.
Alex, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast.
Happy to be here.
Sincerely appreciate it. Have a wonderful week.
Thank you.